Call a crew to the fire tonight. Raise them up. Bring the fight. Boats hit the floor and the night it ignites. Steel in our veins, yeah, we live for the fight. Dust on our throats and a spark in our chest. We don't back down, we don't second guess. Clayton's got the fire, lighting up the flame. Lacey swings hard, yeah, we're carving our name. From the gutter to the stage, from the bottom of the sky. We're the voice you hear when the weak don't try. We're that drum, feel it pounding your bone. No kicks here, we take our own thrones. Hey, raise the crew, let them hear the sound. Hey, from the ashes we're burning it down. Hey, no retreat, no fear, no excuse. We are the roar. We are the Toosday Crüe.
Pins in the air and the chaos grows. Stories get loud where the wild wind blows. With scars and grit, yeah, we paid our dues. Now we're kicking in doors with nothing to lose.
Voices collide like a runaway train. Laugh through the struggle, dance through the pain. If you're standing with us, then you already know. We don't follow lines, we just steal the show. Feel that fire ripping straight through your chest. This ain't a game, it's a war cry test. Hey, raise the crew, let them hear the sound. Hey, from the ashes we're burning it down. Hey, no retreat, no fear, no excuse. We are the roar. We are the Toosday Crüe. Call 'em in, call 'em home. Through the fire, through the storm. We don't break, we reload. We don't kneel, we explode. Raise the crew, let them hear the sound. Hey, from the ashes we're burning it down. Hey, no retreat, no fear, no excuse. We are the roar. We are the Toosday Crüe. Day Crüe. Toosday Crüe. Day Crüe. Toosday Crüe.
Misfit Nation! Another Tuesday is here. Another chance to connect. Another chance to learn. Another chance to celebrate the people who make this nation, this community, and this life worth living. But before we crank this thing into high gear, let's take a moment to honor those who we've lost. Tonight, we remember Chief Warrant Officer 2, DeAndre T. Huey, and Warrant Officer Seth L. Olmstead, 2 Army aviators, 2 Army warriors, 2 Americans who answered the call to serve something greater than themselves. We remember them not for how they died, but how they lived with courage, commitment, and a willingness to serve. We honor them. We thank them when we pledge to never forget them. We also remember the young actress who stole our hearts in Remember the Titans, a film that reminded all of us about teamwork, perseverance, and overcoming division through UNITY. And we tip our hats to the drummer of ZZ Top, whose music became part of the American soundtrack. Life and left generations tapping their feet and turning up that volume. So let's pause for them. All right, Misfit Nation. Now the thing's about to get great. They leave us with something, a lesson, a memory, a legacy. And the greatest way we can honor that legacy is to live, to show up, to laugh, to connect, to build something meaningful together. So tonight, we're going to do exactly that. We're going to bring that energy. We're going to bring the stories. We're going to bring the laughs. We're going to make things, most of the time, we're giving, because that's what Misfits do. We don't take days for granted. We don't waste opportunities, and we sure as hell don't sit on the mother-loving sidelines. So I need the chat blowing up tonight. I need the energy through the roof. I need every misfit from every corner of this country getting loud because the mics are hot. The stage is set, and another unforgettable night is about to begin. Make some noise for the men who bring the fire, the brotherhood, and the misfit madness every single week. Cagney and Lacey.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
That was one hell of an introduction we had there.
It was.
It gets bigger and better every week.
Yes.
Making my head swell.
It's almost like he's sitting around and has nothing else to do.
I don't know.
Oh, how's your week been since we last was on the air together, Stephen?
It was a week. One went to work on Atlantic City. Went to see Stray Cats this weekend.
I was going to ask you about that. Man, I'm jealous.
It was a nice little theater, and we didn't pay for floor seats, and the people who paid for that were sitting on folding chairs, and I was on a nice cushy, movie theater chair, and I'm like laughing at them like, you paid a lot of money to sit on that plastic. And I was close enough, and you could see and hear everything perfect. So
nice. We won't discuss the NASCAR race this weekend.
No, not at all.
No, it does not bear discussion.
No, not at all.
I need to give a couple shout outs. Today is Mrs. Holland's birthday, so join me in wishing her a happy birthday and hope she's had a great day. And another shout out to my grandson Jax. Today was his first day of school, so he started school again. He was looking forward to that, and I hope he had a great day. Jax, if you're listening, buddy, I hope you have a great day, and I love you.
Amen. Happy birthday, Mrs. Holland.
Yes.
Another day above ground is always good. I love it.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You ready to play this game?
Hey, let's play it. Let's see what we got tonight.
All right, game on, baby. Tonight's guest has a story that starts with a challenge most people would never take. She joined the United States Air Force in 2002, stepped into one of the military's most demanding career fields, explosive ordnance disposal. And when she was told that women didn't usually make it through the training, her response was simple: challenge accepted.
And Erin Willoby graduated from EOD school at Eglin Air Force Base and earned her place in the EOD community, but her military career would take a turn she never expected. A medical condition brought her time as an active duty EOD tech to an early end. But as she would soon discover, sometimes the hardest mission in life comes after the uniform comes off.
Years later, Erin's husband and fellow EOD tech Stephen Willoby suffered a devastating accident that left him in a C6 incomplete quadriplegic. Their marriage had already been through incredible challenges, but in a hospital room, everything changed. They found their way back to one another, remarried from Stephen's hospital bed, and began a long process of rebuilding their lives together.
And Erin's story doesn't stop with resilience. A lifelong artist, she turned creativity into therapy into purpose, and purpose into Buffalo Gals Company. She creating artwork and products that celebrate and give back to the EOD, military, first responder, public safety, and service communities. Her mission today is to serve those who serve others. Sorry, I buffered.
Yeah, okay. At least you're admitting it for once. Tonight we're talking about EOD.
Marriage, caregiving, resilience.
Art, community, and finding a new mission.
And what happens when life completely changes the plans. So please welcome to the Toosday Crüe, U.S. Air Force EOD veteran and founder of Buffalo Gals Company,
Erin Willoby. Good evening, Erin. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We are good. We are good. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I have tried nudging you many times on Facebook, and I don't know what pushed you over the edge, but I am glad that you came on here tonight to tell your story and get the information about the Buffalo Gals Company out to more people. Drum you up some business.
Sounds good. Thanks.
So we gave a little bit of your history, probably about 5 cents worth. Why don't you fill the Misfit Nation in on the other 95 cents of it? Start from wherever you want to how we got here today.
Well, I guess what kind of pushed me over the edge to start talking is, well, for a while I had lost my voice, so I wasn't able to do this. So that helped when that came back. But I guess I just wanted to get in front of being able to be the one to tell my story. I might get emotional during tonight, sorry. But
that's fine.
So because I wasn't in EOD very long, I have this problem of not feeling like worthy of being called EOD. Sorry, my cat's going to be in here. But I've been having some little issues here and there of just kind of not feeling worthy. So I needed to snap out of that and wanted to get on here and say, you know, a lot of people don't realize that Buffalo Gals Company is a EOD owned company. And just wanted to be able to share the fact that this is my way of giving back to that community. They've given me so much, and I wasn't able to fulfill my duty.
Okay.
Sorry, like so many others have. And I just wanted to be able to give back and show them that I'm here for them, and that I love them so much.
Well, you signed up, you trained, you made it. You were EOD, regardless if it was a day, a week, 43 years. You were EOD.
And I'm gonna.
You should wear that proudly.
I'm going to punch out to the audience here. I know we've got some EOD folks in the audience. I'm going to say something right here. You raised your right hand. First of all, you decided to serve. Good on you. You served. Then you went to EOD school. You went to the same EOD school that I did. You went to the same EOD school that the other listeners on here that went to. And like Stephen said, I don't care if you got your badge pinned and walked across the street from the memorial to the schoolhouse and twisted your ankle and and they said, "Oh, okay, you can't be an EOD tech anymore." I don't care if You went through the school and you put on the badge, you're just as much of an EOD tech as me or anybody else that's out there. So you just wipe that out of your mind, please.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll have none of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
and what Jake didn't say was it was like a quarter of a century earlier that he went to the school, but
so yeah, I just when I got into the Air Force, I was worried that my asthma was going to be an issue, and that was what became the reason I got out of the military. You send an Arizona desert girl to Fairbanks, Alaska in January when it's -50, and when people say like their lungs froze, like that literally happened to me. Like I couldn't take a deep breath, anything. As soon as I got off that plane and the guys from my shop came to pick me up, I was struggling just breathing outside, and it was really scary. And but you just gotta, I've always thought, just hide it, just this is what I want to do, and if I can get past it, then I can make it work. But that didn't happen. So they, like I said in my bio, EOD guys are pretty observant, and they noticed, and so they told me, you need to get checked out. And it was scary because I knew that the program that was going on right then was the foreshaping, where they were getting rid of people because they had medical conditions, and even if they were getting medical boarded and decided if they were worthy or fit to stay in active duty, they were just like saying it doesn't matter, just we have too many people in the Air Force, we need to get them out. And so I just knew that was going to happen. But you know how the military works, hurry up and wait. And so right away I got seen by the doctors, but it took a long time to get any kind of word back, even though they put me on asthma medication and everything, saying that I had it back. But I just went back to the shop and just did EOD stuff as much as I could, and it was a blast, no pun intended. But I just loved it so much, and Alaska itself was crazy. But at the time I was engaged to Steven, and I was in the bucket, so to speak, to be deployed. And we weren't supposed to be married for like another year. We were supposed to get married in Arizona and all this stuff. Well, stuff happened, and I didn't want to be deployed without my married name. And so we rushed it and picked a weekend, and I flew to Guam from Alaska, and we got married, and I was there for like 3 days, and then I was back in Alaska and got my name changed and everything. And then I got word that the board came back saying that I was unfit for duty. And then again, it was hurry up and wait again. Yes, you're unfit, but we don't know when you're going to get out. So keep working. So did that as long as I could. And then like 7 months later, they told me I was out, but they said that I had the choice. And I think it was because EOD was such in demand at the time that they were willing to like look past anything and just, spent so much money training me. And the war was so much about IEDs and everything like that. So I think they were willing, but I didn't want to risk anyone's life. If I was in a bomb suit and had an asthma attack in the middle of it, I couldn't just stop and use my inhaler or pass something off to someone else to where they'd have to take care of me or anything and put somebody in danger. So I just, begrudgingly said, yeah, I'm unfit. And so But then I said that the silver lining was that I got to join Steven in Guam and still be in the EOD family. So
Yeah.
there were silver linings, but it was heartbreaking. But
I can't imagine. I'm not even going to try. Yeah, and that's a bad deal. But hey,
yeah,
you have overcome that.
yeah, and I've been dealing with asthma and everything since. So it's good that I got out. It would have been probably really bad over there, and so it all worked out. God has a plan, so it was good.
Does it help being in Arizona?
Yes and no. It just depends on the season.
Okay.
And my asthma is not just around like seasonal things, or it's like exercise induced or stress induced. Like it's just anything you can think of, allergies, whatnot, food allergies. It's just ridiculous. But definitely made the right call of me getting out. But we were in Guam for like a year or longer, and it was like the best year ever because it was before there was still long distance phone calls, and there was still no social media or anything like that. So it was like you were literally on an island and on an island, like
yes.
It was like a honeymoon for about a year. It was so cool. And I had Christmas on the beach and things like that. So I recommend anybody, if they have a chance to go to Guam, definitely go. But then when we got orders to come, Steven got orders to go back to Eglin, but at the shop this time. And we just got back into regular life, I guess you could say, no longer island living. And we took some hits. Our marriage took some hits. And that was hard, especially when you're so young. You don't have perspective on like, is something worth fighting for, or and our generation and society, it's something bad happens, you quit. And so we didn't think it was worth saving, but we did try, and we did go to marriage counseling and everything, but we're also military still. And so Steven got like 18-hour notice out of the blue to go to training for Iraq. And it was in the middle of us trying to work on things. And so it just like put a huge pause on everything. And then while he was gone, it was really difficult to obviously work on that. I didn't want him to focus on anything like that while he was over there. He was dealing with a lot. And then I don't know how much to say or whatnot, but it was just not a good time for our marriage. And so when he came back, it wasn't like the best homecoming. It was actually really sad, but we tried to work it out for a little bit, and then we were like, you know what? No, we need to call it. And so we literally signed divorce papers. Like it was either the day of our 3rd anniversary or like right before. It was like bookend everything. So, but we were still really good friends through everything. Maybe we were in denial, I don't know, but like we still hung out with the same people, and he was dating people, I was dating people. I think it was weird for everybody else but us. I don't know. But and this is going to be recorded and whatnot, but the military didn't know that we got divorced. So we were still on each other's paperwork and everything. And so when I got the phone call that he got hurt on Labor Day 2007, he dove into shallow water and hit a sandbar at Crab Island in Florida, in Destin, Florida, and drowned. and he was out with friends, and ironically he was the DD that day, and so it's like he wasn't doing anything other than like diving off a boat. The tide had shifted, the winds shifted, and didn't realize that the sand had moved so much that before he was diving into like 16 feet of water, and by the end of the day it turned into 6 feet of water because the sand had moved so much. Well, it took a while for some people to notice. He like literally floated around to the front of the boat before anybody saw him and pulled him out. And because I was still his in case of emergency and his dependent and everything, his supervisor was the one to call me, and I was at work, and it didn't feel real when he said, but he said, "You got to get here now." And they had taken him as a John Doe because he didn't have a wallet on him or anything. Mm-hmm. And they life flighted him to Pensacola Baptist Hospital. And so like it was nowhere where we were. And so it took a while for people to find him. And then once they found him, then they called me to go see him. And that was just a nightmare. Like my car broke down on the way to go see him. Like it was just not fun. But on the way there, it was like everything that we had gone through was so insignificant that the fact that he might not be in my life at all, not even as just a presence in my life, snapped me out of whatever stupid thoughts we had. And so I just made a decision, you know, I was going to take care of him, even if we weren't back together. And I even told him, I said, I'm taking care of you. I don't care. And your wife better like me because I'm going to be there. So, and by the end, he was in ICU for like 4 weeks. And by the end of it, we had reconnected, and he asked me to remarry him, and we got remarried in his hospital bed. And then literally 2 days later, he was stable enough to be life flighted out to Arizona. He wanted to rehab at Barrow Neurologic Center, which is a renowned rehab facility. And we thought, you know, we were going to be around family. We could have help and stuff like that. So we went back to Arizona. But he went to the hospital, and then I had to find a place to live. And the shop at Luke Air Force Base, mainly Ryan Winger. I'm going to name drop a lot while I'm talking.
That's fine.
They're going to owe some beer.
Yes.
I'm going to owe beer. But Ryan Winger has been just a godsend since Steven and I have known each other. We've known Ryan Winger, and he's just been amazing in our life, and his wife and their kids are just still a very huge part of our life. But he is the one who found me an apartment across the street from the hospital, so I could go home and sleep in a real bed every night. And he was in the hospital for 5 months and 3 days. So while dealing with the quadriplegia, we had to figure out how to be married again.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, like, I loved him, but there were days I did not like him, and he didn't like me, and we had to figure out how to get our shit figured out. And so
I thought that was the definition.
Really had one date. What was that?
I thought that was the definition of marriage. I love him, but you know.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this for almost 30 years.
That's only at your house, even.
Yeah. A love-hate relationship. And that's why it keeps going.
We actually had like one day where he was out of the hospital, and we were living together again, now figuring out how to deal with quadriplegia on top of everything. And we were in such a small apartment. And so like he literally had like, he could go to the bed, he could go to the sink in the kitchen and then go in front of the TV. Like it was so tiny, but we made it work. But we like flat out one day was like, okay, we're not married today. We're just two people. Let's just hash it out, tell each other everything, get it out in the open, and then we can move on. And so we literally just, I guess not pretended, but kind of gave us each other a free day of like, get it all out. We're going to forgive each other. We're in this together. Now we know everything. Let's move on. And so I think that was like the catalyst to how our relationship is now. We had always been a good team before, but it turned into like we literally had to depend on each other for living, like surviving. I take care of him, and he, because of his injury, we're very well taken care of with the VA, and so he takes care of me and I take care of him. And so we're like, we have to just get past this crap. And so, and we've just been open and honest ever since. And even to the point where like, if I want attention, I literally flat out say, I need attention. So I need you to stop doing what you're doing. And it's just worked for us. So it's been we celebrate both anniversaries. We originally got married in March, and then we remarried in September, and so we have 2 anniversaries. So,
well, that's cool.
Coming up is going to be our second 19th.
Nice. Nice. Well, I'm just glad that you can do that, because I have trouble remembering one. So.
Well, we actually do forget both of them a lot. We were on a trip once and on a boat in, I think it was Kentucky. We were on one of those like tours where you have dinner on a boat and stuff. And we were with this other couple, and they were like, oh yeah, it's our anniversary. And we're having, we're doing that. And we were like, we're just doing this for fun. And then we're like, wait, what day is it? And they're like, it's September 28th. And we're like, it's our anniversary too. We're not joking, and we're not trying to steal your thunder. We're just realizing that today.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Stephen, I think we got a question that popped up.
You think so?
Yeah, right there. Why don't you read that to us?
A sapper leader wants to know, Erin, you served, you stepped up when others didn't, and you pushed through hell to get where you are today. Never question whether you did your part. You did. It's not a question, it's a statement. And you're still doing it.
It is a statement.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
See, I told you everybody always agrees with me and Stephen. So
yeah,
you
guys are always right. Thank you.
I have a tendency of yelling at people for, just that reason. I didn't do this, I didn't do that. You signed up, you passed, you were it. It's that simple. Right, Jake?
Yeah. Now, I was just looking. I was going to go through some questions that we had prepared here until we get some more from the peanut gallery.
Okay.
How about I just read this one right here, though?
All right.
Rain Happens wants to know, Erin, what was the hardest part of EOD school that had nothing to do with the technical training?
Well, the toughest part for me was getting up so early. We trained we'd have to get up at like 4. Formation was at 5. We had to be in school, I think, by 6 or 7. And then we were training and studying all day until, I want to say 7 at night. And that was Monday through Friday, and then Sunday we had it was mandatory, but they said it was optional training and studying and stuff for like, I think it was like 4 or 6 hours on Sundays. And so it was brutal. It was just constant. And the fact that if you missed literally one question on a test, you failed. And so it was a lot of pressure. And so trying to study and make sure you do everything right and learn all the new stuff and not mess up and still do all the military stuff and then still try to like have a social life and then going to bed at a reasonable time, which I never did, and then waking up early. I've just never been a morning person. I hate mornings. So that was always hard. And actually Stephen was and still is my human alarm clock. We dated all through EOD school. And so he would literally come to my room at like 4:30 in the morning to make sure I was up for formation. He didn't do it one time and I got in so much trouble.
First shirt had that ass, didn't he?
What?
I said first shirt had that ass, didn't he?
Oh, so MTLs down there were ruthless in their heads. They thought they were pretty ruthless, but they had the power, so you had to do what they said.
Yes. Yes.
So that was the hardest part for me, was the mornings.
So how did Buffalo Gals Company come about?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
How did Buffalo Gals Company come about?
How did that come about?
Yeah.
So like I said in my bio, I don't know if it's like posted or anything. I'm talking like everybody else knows what it said.
I read it. I just want you to tell me about it.
Okay. So I've always been an artist, and it got to the point where it was like, when I got out of the military and doing all of the stuff with Steven and everything, I always had to do something or else I'll go crazy. So art became my therapy. I guess it always had, but it just dawned on me during my degree that I was doing it for therapy too. And so I was just always creating stuff, because I had to, like, inside my body, I had to get this out of me. And I got to the point where I was just had all this stuff collected, all these art pieces. And I was like, I have to like do something with this stuff or it's just going to take over the house. And I can't keep giving these things as gifts. Like, people don't want this stuff, like, you know? And so
now they're going to buy it though. Go ahead.
Right. Well, hopefully I've reached more people than my family and friends. Right. And then I was like, I got to do something with this. And even though I didn't really have to work because of the VA and Steven taking care of me and us, I've never been the type to not do something. Like, I can't sit still. I always have to have a project. And I always have to be, I've had in my own business since I was 16. And so I was ready to start doing like the markets, like having a booth and stuff. And my sister actually started with me. She did handcrafted stuff and I did the artwork. And we were trying to figure out what to call our company. And we were at another market trying to get some inspiration. And a booth had a mounted buffalo head in their decor. And we both at the same time started singing, "Buffalo Gals, won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight?" And we just looked at each other and we were like, oh, and we went to a corner. And so like, we didn't want anybody to hear our plan and our ideas. And like, we were like, "Buffalo Gals, that's us. That's who we are." And like, we just loved Christmas. And that was one of our favorite movies, was It's a Wonderful Life, where they sing that song. And then found out later that Buffalo Gals was actually a term that they used to use for the women of the West, like out in the frontier pioneer days. particularly women of the desert. And so we loved Arizona, we loved Christmas, and it just seemed to fit. And not too long after that, she kind of realized that it wasn't for her. And so I just stayed with it. And it was just a way for me to get people to see my work. And actually, before that, I had Ryan Winger again. He was retiring from the Air Force, and I wanted to make a personalized gift for him. So I created a bunch of like personified EOD tool. Like there's a like a superhero. It's the igniter. It's the M60. Like he's standing like a superhero, and then Wounded Warrior is a broken robot. You know, it's just got like, it's all like stuck together with tape and band-aids, and it's just falling apart, but it's called a Wounded Warrior. So I did a bunch of all these things for him, and he was friends with Mark Fogel, who I didn't know at the time. And Mark Fogel and Angelia Fogel, they are also EOD techs who are starting a company in Niceville, Florida. It was the EOD specific retail store, and they wanted to highlight other EOD techs who are artists and who have their own products, and just kind of bringing the community together to provide for the community. And so I was one of their first contracted artists with those 6 paintings. And so I always tell him he's my origin story. And then he says, well, you're mine, because you didn't have any art until mine. I think me and DS Art were the first 2, I think. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, guys. But he said we're each other's origin story. So that's always our little inside joke. But so because of Mark Fogel taking an interest in my stuff and selling it, I was like, well, maybe I could do this myself. And so ever since 2015, it started with 6 EOD designs and 5 non-EOD designs, and it's turned into, I have thousands of products and designs on my website, and are sold with other companies as well. And I have a fabric line and everything like that on Spoonflower. So it's just, if it wasn't for them, yeah.
Well, you've certainly done a lot with it, and I kind of want to highlight. I do believe that I read somewhere that for support of the EOD Memorial Foundation, don't you usually send quite a bit of stuff to the auction?
Yeah, I like to, another name drop, Lewis Simpson at the Luke Air Force Base shop. He encouraged me to actually like do artwork, like original art pieces for the West Coast EOD Christmas party. Was one of the first things that I donated to, and I got really good feedback. And so I try ever since then, any kind of main event like the Christmas party or the EOD memorial, to have an original art piece. And then I release prints of it later. But yeah,
okay.
I've done a few, and I'm just humbled by the response. It's just been really, and I love that it goes to the EOD Warrior Foundation and just all the good that they do. So.
Yeah, and they do a lot of good. I know they I don't know how much money in scholarships that they give away.
Yeah, and there's like 4 new scholarships as of last year, and it's just growing and growing, and just the reach that they have has been just wonderful. So I love that I get to be part of it.
Yes. Now, got another question here.
Hi, Heart.
There you go. What do you love most about the EOD community? Why did you want to give back? Is what he wants to know.
I love the fact that I've said this before to some people, but like as soon as you sign the dotted line knowing that you're going to the EOD community, it like literally becomes a part of your DNA, and it changes you. You become part of this family that no one else really can get. But as soon as you are part of it, you just know that you have a family all around the world, no matter where you go, even if you don't know that particular EOD tech. But if you need help, like say you're on vacation, you get stranded somewhere, you can literally find an EOD tech and they will take you in for the night. And like, it's just the way that we are, just so much that they give to each other and others until they can't give anymore. Like, that's just the way that they are. And because of that and all of our personal experiences with the EOD community, just the fact that they helping me get through EOD school, each other student, we help each other so much. It just starts there. And then after you get out, you'll die for each other, or you'll give up your crab for them, or it's just the nature of an EOD tech. And so because of that, I can't do enough in my mind to give back. If it wasn't for EOD, my life would look so much different. So much different. I was going nowhere before I joined the military, and it changed the entire course, with like meeting my husband, to the confidence I had in myself, to the experiences you have with travel, to just everything has been because of EOD. It sounds silly, I guess, to people who don't get it, but it's just how it is.
Now, I want to know who the dumbass was that told you that women usually don't make it through school.
Oh, I think he saw me come in and he knew what to say.
Okay.
I think he needed numbers for certain jobs, but and I guess at the time it was true that not very many women were EOD techs at that time. And when I was in school, there was, I want to say, like maybe 11 of us in a sea of 450 students. Like, we were like unicorns,
Yeah, and the only service, and Hart, if you're still out there, you can correct me if I'm wrong. The only service that I've ever seen, and I think I only ever had one female student that was a Marine.
Yeah, and Marines, it's few and far between.
And but it's a great field, and I'm like you. I'm proud to have been a part of it.
Yeah, definitely a blessing. So, and the other females that I went through school with were amazing, entire badasses. And
I had two Air Force airmen in my class that both of them were total badasses, and both of them had pretty distinguished careers. So, and yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of us actually married other EOD techs, so it's interesting too. That's really rare for EOD to marry EOD and then to stay. And there's so many couples. I like to call that a group of EOD students during that year, I call us the 03 OGs. I mean, like, everybody I'm sure goes through school with, like, they think that their class or their batch of people who got crabs at the end was like the best of the best, but just the pedigree of EOD techs that came out of the O3 classes
Mm-hmm.
has just been awe-inspiring, and I just respect them all so much. And it's just crazy because they're all retiring now. Like I'm like, we're not that old. We're still like 19 and 20. Like, I don't know what you're doing. Who says you can retire?
Yes. Yeah. I like to tell myself I'm not that old, but no.
No, Jake, you're old. All right. And LST Cheech and Chong wants to know, was there ever a point after leaving the Air Force when you struggled with feelings like you had lost a part of your identity? Thank you for that question.
Absolutely. Basically, immediately. That was why it was really hard to say that I was unfit. And then because it's rare for women to be EOD techs, it's so easy for people to not assume, or to assume that you weren't. So when I joined up with Steven and we would like greet new techs to the shop at the airport, well, they would be like, hey guys, and they'd shake everybody's hands. And then my husband, Steven, would have to be like, she was EOD too. And then, oh, sorry. And then they'd acknowledge me. And then it's just been that way ever since. Like literally, until people know that I'm EOD, they don't really like. I had a booth at the memorial this last year, last May, and I was setting up, and I have all this EOD themed stuff, and a guy there was like, so what is your affiliation with EOD? Like, basically, like, who do you think you are to sell the crab, And then I was like, well, I was a tech. And then he goes, oh, congratulations. And I was like, congratulations to you too. Like I won it or something, and didn't.
I can tell you if you're not from New Jersey, because if somebody asked me that question, I'm like, what the hell what are you asking me? What the hell is this?
Yeah.
I would have thrown an attitude out of it. It wouldn't have been, oh, well, I graduated. No.
Well, yeah, and I was like, I was a tech, and then he was like, oh, and then it was okay for me to be there almost, I just kind of, I don't want to bash on anybody or talk negative, but that's the only struggle that I have still to this day is having the cred. And I think that's why I keep struggling with the fact that I didn't fulfill. And maybe if I had fulfilled the whole term in service, then people would have known that I was EOD. I don't know. It's just this back and forth thing all the time. But
again, you graduated.
It's just funny.
You got it. You're it.
Yeah, thank you.
That's kind of like Mrs. Holland when we were dating. I had given her one of my unit T-shirts, and somebody saw her with that. I said, if anybody sees you with that shirt and asks you how if you're an EOD tech or anything, say here's what you tell them. And somebody saw her with the shirt, and they go, how'd you get an EOD shirt? And she goes, oh, I earned it.
Oh, yeah. I do have to say that being an EOD spouse is hard. Being an EOD tech and then also being an EOD spouse, it's no joke. Like, people all the time, they say, you guys know what you signed up for when you married him. But it's hard. I remember when Steven was deployed, and I'd watch the news, and I had just talked to him like a day before. I saw one of the fobs had literally just gone up in smoke. Like on the news, it was getting just blasted. Like there was nothing left, and I was freaking out because I knew he was there. And I'm not even kidding. Like 10 minutes later, while I'm freaking out, figuring out who I should call, I'm sure they can't tell me, and I'm like panicking. I can't talk to an EOD spouse because they're not supposed to know everything that's going on, but I'm a tech, and so I know what's going on, and I'm a spouse. Like, I had nobody to talk to, it felt like. And he called me from a sat phone and said, I'm not there anymore. We left this morning. And from that moment on, I have never watched the news since then. Like, I'm an ignorant person of what's going on in the world, and I'm perfectly happy with that, because that was very scary. But I know I was talking to other EOD spouses who were also EOD techs at one time, and we shared the same issue of, like, you are an EOD tech, and so you have to save face. You can't act like, and maybe it was just our thoughts that we had to feel this way, but especially women, like, you can't be emotional, you can't be upset, but then you also can't talk to the EOD spouses and get support from them, because you might slip and tell them something that they shouldn't know, because they wanted to protect their spouses from, you know, heartache or things like that. And so it was just like we were like in this little bubble by ourselves. And so I respect EOD spouses. It's not easy being on that side either.
No, I give y'all a lot of few ways to get a crab. That's right, Hart. This is
And sadly, Jake
family.
knows balls.
This is a family show. We will not
Yeah,
discuss
I was going to
the
say,
second way to get one.
I could go into what that means. But
Hey, we're going to pop one more question up here, and that we got in the queue from our old friend Bama Sucks 9.
I love that name. What advice would you give a military spouse or caregiver whose life has suddenly changed because of an injury or disability? Thank you for that question.
The best advice I could give is, today is the worst day it'll be. Every day it gets better. So whatever you're dealing with right now, just know that today is probably the worst day, and it just gets better and better after that, because you figure out how to deal with what you just went through. You're more prepared for what's coming. You're not prepared for everything, but your track record tells you can deal with it and you can handle it. And by then, you know, like, what resources you have. You're crawling right now, and you're going to be running soon, and you'll be an expert in your situation, and you're going to have hard days, and just try to not have your hard days at the same time. There's always got to be one person to be positive and encouraging, but also allow your spouse or your significant other to have their bad days, and allow yourself to have them too. Because, I mean, this isn't a game, and if you don't deal with things right when you're having them, or shortly after you're having feelings or thoughts or whatever, it's just going to fester. And so just give each other grace and compassion, but also be each other's warrior. Keep fighting for each other.
Yes, definitely keep fighting for each other. If we can, we're going to push your website here a little bit, if we can, Mr. Producer. And then got a question up here that's going to kind of go along with your website that we'll post after your website gets shared up here.
We're supposed to go.
Yeah, where's the graphic?
It appears. Yeah.
There we go. There it is. There it is.
Friggin' magic.
And kind of talk us through the website, and I'll pop that question up here from who you are is
who you are is who you be. Is there a piece of artwork you've created through Buffalo Gals Company that has particularly powerful story behind it?
There's a few, and it's the ones that I've been creating for the EOD Memorial and the Christmas parties. The first one is the Spirit of EOD, and it's basically a big bison buffalo, and in the steam of its breath is an image of EOD techs about ready to do their job with some ordnance, and then in the background you see the Blackhawks or Apaches, and then the trucks and everything, just kind of like an overall snapshot of an EOD tech out in the desert. And it's just basically expressing that EOD is a force to be reckoned with, as a community and as a career field. And just like the bison, you don't want to mess with it, basically. And that was just the spirit of what EOD represents to me. So that one was really powerful for me. Another one is it's called Into the Storm. It's a half of a EOD tech in a bomb suit, and the other half is a buffalo. And it's like the buffalo, they turn into the storm. They're the only cattle type animal that doesn't run from a storm. They face it head on, and the point of it is to get through it faster. Like basically, time on target is cut to a minimum, and they're the only ones that do that. And they also are a community, and they make sure that their entire herd gets through the storm together. And so we as a community, EOD, with all this struggle after getting out, we're the highest percentage of suicide after people get out of EOD. They just, like that one question said, their identity is really wrapped up into this career field, and you have a purpose and you have a mission, and every day you do something for it, and then you're all of a sudden not doing any of that, and you possibly can't do any of it. That's why you're out. And so we as a community, we face the storm together. So those two are for sure really powerful for me. And this last one for the EOD Memorial, I did a totem pole painting of like the history of EOD, where it came from. Okay. And each totem represents a stage of the beginnings of EOD, how it came about in the U.S., and then how it's expanded into the civilian world, and even bomb dogs, and then honoring the veterans that have gone before us to pave the way and make EOD what it is today, for their sacrifices and their knowledge and their experience and their input. Everything is just, they deserve to be acknowledged. So
yes, they do. Stephen, we got questions keep coming in, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw one at you. Ed Melancholy wants to know, after everything you and Stephen have experienced, what does the good life mean to you today?
I mean, we're living it. We're really very comfortable. We weren't able to have kids, and so we have a ton of fur babies, and so we bounce back and forth from the valley to the mountains in Arizona. We're able to have 2 homes, and so that's an amazing blessing. And the fact that we literally can wake up and decide to do what we want within reason. Obviously, can't go hiking and things like that, but just good life is where we are. I mean, I know we would like to do more, but we have a very comfortable life. We travel a lot, and we hang out at home, and we get up at like 10 a.m. sometimes later, and then we stay up till like 2 in the morning every night, and then go to sleep when we want and wake up. A very retired life.
Well, that's good. Jake, are you awake?
Well, I was. I'm sorry, I'm multitasking. There was another question that popped up in there.
Now, do I got to do it? Do I need to do it Prince style? Jesse, yeah, Jerome. Sorry. That opening monologue is amazing. You dudes rock. I love your feminine names. Okay, I see feminine names. I love that. How did your driver, Logano, pull that off? That's Jake's driver. He would have to answer that question.
No. Jesse, not Jerome. I love you for listening, but do not ever associate Logano with being my driver.
Do we need to like have a therapy session for your NASCAR event?
Oh, don't get me started.
Just for Joey winning. That's the only thing we need therapy for. He belongs in 21st or 22nd.
Yes. Oh, Stephen, Erin, this hour has flown by.
It did.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for
minutes ago.
Yeah. Thank you for telling your story and sharing it with us, sharing it with the Misfit Nation.
Thank you so much. Hope I didn't gab too much.
You did not. You were great.
Now, are you ready for some tough questions now?
Okay.
Questions?
I really don't have any prepared, but I'm just going to ask you a few questions, some lightning round questions off the fly. Okay.
There you go.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Marvel or DC?
I like Batman, so DC.
Okay. All right. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Trek. My best friend's a Trekkie, so.
Awesome. And road trip go-to song?
I have a favorite one right now.
Okay.
But it's not appropriate. It's Come Say Some. I forgot who sings it right now. Of course, I'm having Fred Durst sings in it with her, and it's basically she challenges people. Go ahead and say something. Let's see what happens. That's been my go-to.
Okay. All right. Lauren Sanderson.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Misfit Nation, we have come to
I have to put it on now.
Yeah, I got to listen to the song.
I looked it up. I might have to hit play.
Misfit Nation, we've come to the end of another episode. We had a great guest this evening. Erin, thank you again. Hey, if you're out there and you're public service, you're an EOD technician, looking for some original art, check out buffalogals.com and some beautiful original Southwest art. And it's I'm going to get on the website again. I knew that you had art. I had never been to that part of your website yet. But
he was stuck looking at the bathing suit picture.
Shut up. Well, I was trying to decide which one wouldn't make my butt look so big.
while you were out feeding the chickens. Yeah.
We do have EOD Speedos now, so if you're looking for that.
You do not no. That is not going to happen.
I had requests for them, so of course I listened and I provided.
Probably from Navy dudes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what service. EOD is EOD.
Oh, yeah. But hey, Misfit Nation, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And remember, if you're feeling the darkness and you don't think that you want to be here tomorrow, pick up that phone and dial 988. If you're a veteran, take option 1. Somebody on the other end of that line will help you, because tomorrow is going to be too beautiful of a day for you not to be in it with us. So do that. If you don't want to call that number, email us at Steven@themisfitnation.com, Jake@themisfitnation.com, or info@themisfitnation.com. And we'll get in touch with you, because we love you and we want you to be around.
Amen.
So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Parting shot, Steven?
Check us out, Reach Across America, Saturday night, 5 p.m. Eastern. We're part of Heroes Media Group, Veterans Media Network. We are all around. Everybody come and listen. Hang out with us on Tuesdays. Hang out with Rich on Sunday and Thursday. And let's make this a big happening, you know.
And
let's
go Dave
this.
Blaney.
Let's grow this. Yes. Have a good night, everybody.
Erin,
Bye.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling, because we are Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.